Sisi vile vile sio watu ambao wanataka ugomvi kwa sababu ya ugomvi.
Niwaambia nyinyi ni wajinga mkimfuata Ruto. Mkadhani tunawadanganya.
Jeti ya Ruto. Hii maisha ya Ruto ni stress na ni stress.
Mungu wewe umetukosea.
Sasa tumesema siku ya Jumatano. Uko tayari? Uko tayari? Tumesema sisi si majambazi.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for making time to join us. Welcome again. This is Sound Candid Talk, open forum political discussion show, the show that gives you an opportunity to air what you feel and think about the latest development on our political front. Well, a lot is taking place in our country, some of it pleasant, some of it not pleasant at all. We seem to be spiraling into a direction that is very scary to the right-thinking Kenyans in terms of decisions taken by the current administration in relation to political situation. The scenes that we've been exposed to today in Nyahururu and Kisumu, if there are anything to go by, we are headed in the wrong direction. Now, this is so disturbing that when you hear the Minister of Internal Security, Murkomen, politicizing security, is really disturbing that on the year, or rather when we are warming up for a general election, that is definitely going to be very, very fiercely contested. We cannot be taking such attitudes towards the kind of security available for those that are out to secure the welfare of this great country. And so as we start this conversation, we will zero into what is cooking at the ODM party now that Raila Odinga is dead, and they have also went a step further and removed the SG that is Edwin Sifuna, who Raila trusted with party apparatus for over 8 years. What is the future of ODM after all this? And of course, the current party leader, Oburu Oginga, has already thrown in the towel and gone public about ODM not fielding a presidential candidate. And so this is this the burial ceremony of the giant great party that has determined and shaken the politics of this country for over 2 decades? Is this what we can get hardly a year after the demise of the party leader Raila Amolo Odinga? What's happening? We need your opinion. Thank you so much for joining from wherever you are. Here is the link for those who want to join in the conversation on YouTube. We are streaming live on YouTube as well as on TikTok. I appeal to you for fully participation. Ensure that you are an extension of what you're doing right here, right where you are. Make sure that you are inviting somebody, and let's dive into the conversation together. What do you make of what's happening with the ODM? And then, of course, it goes without saying that ODM is no longer the ODM we know, and this is courtesy of the interested parties that want to compete with a weaker ODM than the giant mighty ODM that we have all been, exposed to. And so Edwin Sifuna out, Raila Odinga dead, Oburu Odinga not ready to run for president. What's happening? I need your opinion. Thank you so much, those joining on TikTok. Please make sure you like the video to keep it afloat, even as we dive into this great conversation. What do you make of what is happening with the Orange Party? And then, of course, is this the end of everything, or there is hope for the salvation or the salvaging of this giant party? I will need to hear what you feel about the whole situation. Please share your opinion and let us ventilate on the same. But just as a startup, I want you to confirm you're getting me. Please confirm if you're getting me loud and clear, especially those of you on YouTube. At times there is some interference with our sound. There are manipulations that put off our audios even without our control. So please confirm if you're able to get me and you are following the conversation, and invite somebody tukusanyike pamoja tukaangazie masuala haya. Namtegea nani wazee wetu, nimemkaribisha nani Jakindu Bay, Undumani hajapata ujumbe. Tunaanza kuangazia swala hili kwa sababu kile kinachoendelea katika nchi hii lazima tuanze kukizungumzia, kwa sababu mambo si kama vile yamekuwa hapo awali. Kuna vile ambavyo wengi wamejitolea kwamba hii nchi haitakuwa na amani ama hakutakuwa na ile uongozi ambao unafaa, kwa sababu watu fulani lazima wapendezwe, ama watu fulani lazima wapate kile wanachokitaka. So katika hiyo hali kuna wale ambao wameamua kwamba wamwage unga na kitoweo. That seems to be the attitude, especially from the UDA fraternity, and it looks like chaos seems to be working for them. Is that the situation? And if that is the case, what is wananchi left to do? What is wananchi left to do? What can be done so that we can have our country solid together, as well as ensure that everything concerning the progress of this country does not go to the dogs because of the irresponsible behavior of those that would rather, lose the country than get out of power. That seems to be the undertone at the moment. And I don't know what you think about the whole thing, but I would invite your opinion. So please, tunakuomba tafadhali ingia studio ukazungumze masuala haya. Jaribu wale ambao mnajaribu kuingia studio, mnakubaliwa. Hakikisha kwamba unatekeleza wajibu wako tu, kwa sababu tunakutegemea wewe kusema yale ambayo unapaswa kuyasema. Ni muhimu sana kwetu sisi na kwa Wakenya kijumla. So kama unatufuata, tafadhali hakikisha unamkaribisha mtu, alafu tumakinike pamoja tunapoangazia masuala haya moja kwa moja. We are live on YouTube as well as on TikTok. Usisahau na karibisha mtu ili tukaangazie swala hili kwa kina. What I need from you is your thoughts about what is happening, one with the ODM, and then of course you know that ODM has been a very pivotal part of the Kenyan politics. I believe that most of what we have experienced experienced as a country for the past 40 years or so has had the fingerprints of Raila Odinga and the ODM party extensively. And so what's the future of our politics with the current state of ODM? Will ODM even survive these 2027 elections? Because from the look of things, they are more UDA than ODM. And when Oburu begins to talk about he's not running and ODM is not fielding a presidential candidate, then you know that this is already cooked. What is your take? What is your take here on this matter as we continue to discuss? Karibu sana, maoni yako. Naangalia watu wa TikTok kile mnachosema hapo. Mnasemaje? Oburu ana uwezo wa kuendeleza ODM na ODM ipone, kwa sababu sasa hivi kama wamtupa nje Sifuna na Oburu naye, hata kabla mazungumzo kati ya UDA na ODM kung'oa nanga, ashasema kwamba ODM haitakuwa na mkombezi wa urais. Huu ndio mwisho wa ODM ama kuna lingine? Hebu tuambie unavyoona mambo haya jinsi yalivyo. Those of you who are waiting for us on Facebook, I have posted the link to get us on YouTube. If you are a follower of our Sound Candy Talk Facebook page, then you will be able to link and get the broadcast moja kwa moja. Kwa hivyo usilegee, hakikisha kwamba unafuata kwa kina. Ni kwa sababu we have some limitations on our usual app for broadcasting. There is a limitation on how many platforms we can get to. In the meantime, we'll be surviving with this until we are able to move. So tuambie, wewe unaona ODM inapona ama imekwisha? Nani huyo? Unasemaje? Maoni yako muhimu tafadhali, ningependa kuyasikia na kuyaona kwa wale ambao mnaandika kwa comment section. Huu ndio mwisho wa safari ya ODM ama ODM itasurvive beyond 2027? Kama ODM haitakuwa na presidential candidate, kuna matumaini ya hiki chama kuendelea kama vile baba alikuwa anakiendeleza? Kama hiki chama kitakuwa mikononi mwa Oburu Odinga na hapa Edwin Sifuna ambaye amekuwa anapeana tumaini kubwa kwamba hiki chama kitaokolewa, ametupwa nje. Wewe kwa maoni yako unaonaje? Huu ndio mwisho wa safari ama safari ndio imeanza? Give your opinion. And then of course I want to remind you there is a poll question that we are asking on the same the debate, which we require your opinion on the same. The poll question is here, and we are asking you. Here we have there. Let me just get it. Inaonekana mitambo iko na masuala yake. Let's have this. Okay, here we go. What will be the biggest impact of on ODM's future after Raila Odinga demise and Sifuna removal? We seem to have gotten only one response. So piga kura yako, toa maoni yako hapo kwa YouTube ili tujue unasimama wapi kwa swala hili. Mengi ni wewe unambie. Wewe unaona huu ndio mwisho wa safari ama ndio safari imeanza? ODM itapona ama imekwisha? Na kama ODM haipo kinyang'anyironi ama katika kinyang'anyiro cha 2027 kwa urais, ni kipi ambacho kinapikika na itakuwa vipi? Itakuwa vipi? Maoni yako muhimu sana, tafadhali kayatoe wazi wazi. Hapa tunazungumza wazi wazi, and then of course we seek the best of our country, and the future of this country should be important to you, just as it's important to every right thinking Kenyan. And of course, nipe maoni yako. Okay, thank you. Those joining us on TikTok, tafadhali naomba hakikisha kwamba unatekeleza wajibu wako wa kukaribisha mtu, and then toa maoni yako. Unaona ODM imekwisha ama imeretreat tu inarudi? What is your thoughts on the same? It's important that we hear what you feel about the same, nikiwasubiri wavyele wangu hapa waje watoe maoni yao. Then kuna onekana kwamba kutakuwa na earthquake kwa sababu ya kumng'oa Edwin Sifuna katika uongozi wa ODM, na sehemu ambayo itakuwa changamoto kubwa haswa kwa Oburu Oginga na genge lake ambalo limeamua kwamba afadhali waongozwe na William Ruto katika ODM kuliko ODM kuwa na wafuasi wa ODM. Na hii imeleta changamoto kubwa ambayo inaonekana kwamba ODM itapoteza kwa njia kubwa ufuasi wake haswa wa mkoa wa Magharibi. Na haya sio maneno yangu, bali ni maneno ya aliyekuwa naibu wa Raila Odinga, deputy party leader wa Raila Odinga, Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya, the former governor of Kakamega. Here is what he has said about the Sifuna situation in
Raila Amolo Odinga with one heart. And that support we have supported Raila should not be taken for granted. Wakati huu, it is our time. Hii miaka yote Raila amesimama upresident, tumekuwa na ye. Nasema uongo? Saa hii mpaka waangalie na watu wa Western katika ODM wanapata nini? Si ndio? Wanapata kama waangalie watu wa Western, tunawaambia bye bye. Sawa? Warudishe nini? Kwa sababu Raila alituacha, wamesahau sisi tulikuwa karibu na Raila, tulikuwa viongozi pia kwa hiyo chama. Wanaendelea tu na mambo yao. Wanaendelea tu na mambo yao ya power. Mambo yao ya power na wajui hata sisi pia hawajui watu wa Western pia wanataka nini? Watu wa Western wanataka nini? Leo ni
Okay, there you have it. Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya, former governor of Kakamega, stating his stand in view of what is happening with the leadership of Oburu Oginga at the helm of ODM. And he gives us a brief historical reality of what made ODM a giant party, and a party that many Kenyans have held their, or rather has carried the hopes of many Kenyans in the ensuring that their future is secure, because they have somebody that will defend them and stand between them and the oppressor. But it looks like to Oburu Oginga, ODM is just a party that can cut deals and survive. And you know, when Oparanya speaks, Oparanya is to be taken serious. Number one is, I would say, is the longest serving deputy of Raila Odinga, the late. And he's been in ODM, I think, from the conception of the party, and he has served with Raila Odinga, I think, all his political life, from the NAC administration to the Grand Coalition, and then, of course, in the cold from 2013 to 2017, 2017 to 2022, working alongside the aspiration and the values of one Raila Odinga. And so what is this about ODM now that doesn't see the importance of other regions that have supported, worked with Raila Odinga all these years, and at the moment there is a clear disregard of these particular regions or these particular communities? And so Oburu needs to call a conference with himself, and he needs also to come to terms with the reality that what makes ODM is the ability of Raila Odinga to bring different regions together, different communities together, and give them reason to believe in the party. ODM is not a Nyanza party, but it appears that the enemies of ODM from within want to reduce the giant, largest party in East and Central Africa to a village party. And that, to me, is a very sad reality. It's a very sad reality. And to come to think of it, that the person behind this is the elder brother of the enigma, Raila Amolo Odinga, is very depressing. It's very depressing, to say the least, that the person who is messing up the legacy of Raila Odinga is his senior brother. I mean, seniority needs to be attractive. Seniority needs to be wiser and needs to be more, appealing. But if he's doing this hardly a year since Raila Odinga's demise, then things are not looking up. Things are not looking up. Let me know what you think about the whole thing. Are you in support of Oparanya, that the Western region walks away from ODM because the Oginga and team are not listening to the rest of the regions? They are only caught up into the carrying out State House demands and State House dictates. ODM has never been run from State House. ODM has never been controlled from State House. It is alarming that the greatest party and the greatest legacy of Raila Amolo Odinga is subjected to the ridicule of it taking orders from State House and doing things that, don't look like ODM. things that don't look like ODM. And of course, I can't avoid to talk about the statement that Oburu Oginga gave while in State House in his preference of a dictatorship versus democracy. And according to Oburu, that there is delay of doing things in the country because we have too much democracy. I don't know what that means, too much democracy. Inspire, wherever. Inspire Women 274 says, how I wish Win can stand up against all the Matumbograts, starting with his angle. We want power. Exactly, a very good prayer there. And we hope that something drastic will take place to help the salvation of this particular long-serving political party that has held the aspirations and the hopes of the majority of the Kenyan people. The future of this country has been preserved many times by reason of the able leadership of Raila Odinga at the helm of affairs at the ODM, leadership. But what's going on right now is very depressing. What's going on right now is very, very disturbing. I don't know what your take is. Please, let's hear more comments about this. So should the Western region listen to Oparanya and walk out? Is there even a need to walk out? Because if Edwin Sifuna is not on the table, and and I would also want to make it clear, it is not just a matter of Edwin Sifuna being removed from office. What is really a problem here is a president is being said that somebody can be removed from office, and making matters worse is that we don't know what crime Edwin Sifuna committed. We don't know what crime Edwin Sifuna committed. We don't know which part of the ODM constitution that he violated. The things that I'm hearing don't make sense, that he went against Oburu. Is Oburu the ODM constitution? That he went on television and took a stand that the party, or the party, wherever, that different from what the party was taken. I don't see how that is a violation, because we're in a free country, we are in a free democratic space, and the freedom to express ourselves has never been curtailed by anyone or any political values. And of all political parties, ODM has been on the forefront in fighting for freedom of media, freedom of expression, freedom of opinion. We've been in the strangers all this time to see to it that this country enjoys democratic space, and this democratic space is clear for everyone to enjoy. Now, if the same leader of a political party that has led the struggle for over 20 years, he's now talking about it is better for William Ruto to be a benevolent dictator because too much democracy is causing delay in terms of development. Are we supposed to develop against the Constitution? Are we going to develop against the values and the principles that we have taken for ourselves in terms of to be the standards of our being governed? And so this agitation for dictatorship and going public about it is a clear indication that Oburu is not the party leader of the faction of ODM that he is leading. He's taking orders from elsewhere, and it appears the bread is being buttered better on that side, and he doesn't want to lose that bread, even if it means him losing the legacy of his late brother, and of course, the hopes and the aspiration of the majority of Kenyans. Inspire Women says, when Raila was alive, ODM was a national party. Of course, I believe Western and all Kenyans must walk out. It may end up right there, and that is what I think will be determined by the 26th. We'll be getting into the story of the 26th of this month, when Sifuna will be having his homecoming in Bungoma and Trans Nzoia, and thereafter make the declaration. So he says, no Sifuna, ODM is dead on its knees. Oburu doesn't have any direction. He doesn't, he does not love his brother. It's very sad. It's very sad. Inspire Women, some of those statements are very, it's sad awakening to a very sad reality that, Yesu alisema kwamba a man's enemies shall be from their house. The damages to ODM and Raila Odinga legacy seems to be coming from his own house and not from outsiders. It's a very sad reality. Kama kungekuwa na vile Raila Odinga angefufuka leo, aone vile Oburu amefanya chama ambacho Raila amepigania miaka hii yote kuhifadhi, it will be very sad. It will be very sad that sasa Oburu ambaye ndio party leader wa ODM, yeye ndio ana flag William Ruto State House akisign strange laws and strange acts of parliament. It's unimaginable. But fate will always have it that kilicho na mwanzo akikosi kuwa na mwisho. Lakini kwangu mimi Oburu ametukosea sana. Okay, ametukosea sana. ODM kimekuwa chama ambacho kimekuwa shule kwa wengi wetu ambao wamejifunza siasa na katika kuamini hatima ya nchi hii imekuwa imebebwa na ODM. Sasa mtu kuchukua uongozi wa ODM na kufanya kuwa mchezo ni jambo ambalo linaudhi sana. Anaamini kwamba suluhu la kudumu mpaka lipatikane kwa mambo haya. Asante kwa wote ambao mnajiunga nasi. Tafadhali naomba tuhakikishe kwamba tunatekeleza wajibu wetu. Like video, share, karibisha mtu, toa maoni yako. Najua kwamba hatujakuwa hapa kila siku, lakini hivi ndio tumerejea na tunaomba tu tusaidie. Kumbuka tuko live kwa YouTube na TikTok peke yake. Watu wa Facebook, enda kwa Sound Candy Talk page, alafu utapata hapo link ambayo itakupeleka kwa YouTube link. Hatuwezi kuenda moja kwa moja kwa Facebook there are some limitations we are having with the app that we use for broadcasting. So utuelewe tu na utusaidie kwamba ujumbe ufikie wengi wa wote ambao wangependa kujifunza. So inaonekana wazi kwamba Pwani wataachana na ODM, Magharibi wataachana na ODM, Kisii ishaondoka kwa ODM. Sasa Oburu anataka power na ODM ipi? Oburu anataka kuongoza ODM inakaaje? Ebu nieleze tu nieleweshe kwa sababu you can't receive a party that is national, then you deliberately and forcefully and determined to make it a village party. This looks like witchcraft. Kwa sababu hauwezi kufanya hivyo ukiwa na akili timamu tu. So mtuambie hapo. Asanteni sana kwa wote ambao mnajiunga nasi. Naomba tafadhali tumakinike. So nani anasema nini? Paranya hapo anasema kwamba kama Oburu na wenzake hawataheshimu mikakati ana njia ambazo zilikuwa zimejengwa na nani, na Raila Odinga katika kuhakikisha kwamba chama cha ODM si cha kijiji na si cha mtu binafsi. Uongozi wake ulikuwa the face of Kenya, and majority of Kenyans were at home in ODM, but now it is looking like ODM is no longer a national party, and the determination to make it a village party seems not to be relenting. And the mystery, you get in all this is on how, on how people are, committed into doing what is wrong to a level whereby that now called right wrong, called good bad, and call injustice justice. That's exactly what Oburu is saying. Okay, Oburu is saying now Ruto can become a dictator. It's okay, and dictatorship is good for development. I don't know where dictatorship has been good for development, except the person in power has the interest of the masses at heart. William Ruto has demonstrated he doesn't have the interest of the majority of Kenyans at heart. He is in power to do what he can, do while he's in power and enjoy the benefits of being in power. We'll be drawing parallels with Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traore is in office, yes, not democratically, but look at what he's doing. Look at how he's liberating the country. He has paid off IMF, chased them away. World Bank chased them away. He has settled France, the colonial masters, and say, we don't owe you anything. Move now and go wherever you came from. The country is now free. Development is taking place with local resources. Industries are being, built. Farming, they have invested heavily in irrigation. I was watching a video of the green Burkina Faso. The irony is that Burkina Faso, that is partly semi-arid, just like Kenya, is investing in making everywhere green so that they can, have better climate and better weather patterns that will enhance agriculture. Then, of course, they're investing in irrigation. But see what is happening here with Mr. Dimples, the governor of Nairobi. He's uprooting trees and uprooting grass and replacing it with concrete. You go to the city of Nairobi, it is no longer the green city in the sun. It's now concrete everywhere. And so when other countries are making their country green, ours is going concrete, because contracts have to be won and certain people have to be paid. And so it doesn't matter what happens. This is crazy. This is crazy. And so let us understand that dictatorship has been bad. It will be bad, and if it is not kept under check, it will be very disastrous. And somebody said Oburu Oginga, has never been part of the struggle. And from his statement, we can tell that very comfortably. He has never been part of the struggle. I read an article where somebody was saying that even when Raila was in detention and or even his father was being persecuted by the regime, Oburu was a civil servant. Oburu was working for the government. And so when he says we need power, he's just saying from the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. He's only saying what is in him. He has been part of the system. He's been a beneficiary of the system. He has never been in the trenches. He has never fought for Kenya. And so assuming the responsibility of leading ODM that is known for being in the trenches and fighting for Kenyans, he can't give us otherwise. You can't give what you don't have. And so expecting Oburu to lead demos against the government, Oburu to call for demos against oppression, it will never happen. It can't happen. He is, he would rather have a dictator than go against dictatorship. He would rather have bad leadership than correct it. And it's a very sad, sad reality. And so as Kenyans, tuamue, okay? Tuamue. Mnataka kuendelea na udikteta ama mtatekeleza wajibu wenu wa kuhakikisha kwamba yale ambayo yamekwenda mrama yanarekebishwa na nchi inanyooshwa kulingana na vile ambavyo inapaswa kunyooshwa. Well, kuna swala lingine ambalo tutalizungumzia shortly na linahusu Wamnyoro, okay? Wamnyoro ni former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, na madai yake kwamba Ole Kalao ambako kumekuwa sherehe chungu nzima tangu kuwe na kutangazwa kwa by election ambayo itatekelezwa I think in 3 days time, na all the goodies of government have been flying everywhere, and Ole Kalao people are enjoying the government and the government goodies because of the campaigns. And so there is a statement that Rigathi Gachagua gave, and it sounded like he is claiming that he doesn't he doesn't need the support of Linda Mwananchi to win the Ole Kalao seat. He says the DCP candidate doesn't need the support of Linda Mwananchi. So that has been interpreted to mean that Rigathi Gachagua is protecting the Mount Kenya from Linda Mwananchi, and because he feels that Linda Mwananchi can render him irrelevant in terms of what he claims to be in command of. And so I don't know how you interpret that, but I need your opinion on the same. So kuna huyu hapa ambaye anadai kwamba huyu Rigathi Gachagua anapaswa kuchunguzwa vizuri na angaliwe kwa kina, kwa sababu ile ngoma ameanza kucheza na ile direction anaanza kuchukua, inaonekana wazi kwamba yeye si wa upinzani na yeye sio mtu wa wanta. Yeye anakaa kana kwamba ameanza kutafuta kurejea kwa William Ruto na kufanya kazi pamoja na William Ruto. Sijui maoni ya huyu jamaa ambaye nitacheza video yake hivi karibuni, lakini nakuomba tu toa maoni yako, aswa those very active on TikTok, please. Maoni yenu ni muhimu. Let me see if there is something here. Okay. Inspire Women hapa nasema kama Raila angefufuka, angeweza kufufuka, watu wangelimwa makofi. I think that is possible. Anasema Oburu ni mlafi. Huyo anaitwa MC Omosh. Maoni yake hayo. Naomba tu tafadhali tumakinike tunapoangazia hili swala la Wamnyoro, alafu tutarejelea ile swala la tarehe 25 na 26 Trans Nzoia na Bungoma ambako Mbarika itapasuliwa kulingana na hoja na mipangilio ya kijana wetu Edwin Sifuna, ambaye wote ambao mnakumbuka kwamba ni kwa hii channel ambako mzee wetu Jakindu Bey alikuwa wa kwanza kusema baada ya mambo ya broad based, yeye akasema yule mtu anafaa kuongoza ODM na kugombea urais na kuwa rais wa Kenya, yule anafaa, akasema ni Edwin, kwa hata kabla Edwin Sifuna awe sisi ndio Sifuna. Na kwa hivyo we have a stake in what Sifuna is becoming with every passing day, and then of course great leadership cannot be hidden forever. You know, it will be spotted, and therefore I need you to give your views. I need to give your views. This Wamnyoro issue is becoming very interesting, and so we must you know, deal with it accurately. Hebu nione, naonekana hii video iko na maswala yake. Let's see if it will accept download. Okay. So huyu analyze tu, anatoa maoni yake, na kwake yeye anasema anaona dalili za kuwa Gachagua anafanya kazi na William Ruto, licha ya kuwa anajionyesha kwamba yeye ni mpinzani mkubwa wa William Ruto. Maoni yako nitakuwa na yasubiri katika of course either comment section ama kuja moja kwa moja kwa inaitwa nini, kwa studio, alafu tuongee kwa kina. It is important that we get this right because what's going on in this country we really need divine intervention. We need divine intervention because mambo ambayo yanaendelea hapa hayapendezi hata kidogo, hayapendezi hata kidogo. And then of course inaonekana kwamba wengi ama mengi yanayoendelea ni ni hao wanasiasa wana mipangilio ambayo sio mizuri kuhusu jinsi uongozi utafanywa, and then of course their plans don't seem to have anything to do with Kenyans or anything to do with the welfare of the majority of Kenyans. So I don't know what is your take on the same, but let's have a look at this and then judge from there. Let's bring in this video, and then from there we can look at Oburu and his statements, and then the young man with Wamnyoro.
Kero kubwa kurithi kiti ambacho hata hautambui kilikuwa na maana gani kwa taifa, huku taifa likikumbuka mambo yaliyotokea mwaka 1990 kuhusiana na Sabasaba. Inakera kuona baadhi ya wanasiasa kama vile Oburu Oginga wakikosa hekima ya kuzungumza masuala ya haki katika taifa. Leo hii mwanahabari wetu Haman Kamariki anamwandikia barua Oburu Oginga, barua yenye upole lakini pia ya ukumbusho tu.
Karibu katika shoka la KTN. Unajua nini? Nilikozaliwa tamaduni zetu haziruhusu kijana mwenye umri kama wangu kuwaongelesha au hata kuwapa nasaha wazee waliomzidi umri. Mila zetu zinabaini kwamba wazee huwa na hekima, na isitoshe palipo wazee tunajua kwamba hapaharibiki neno. Lakini kiongozi wa chama cha ODM, au wacha hadhi yake isalie juu, kitengo anachosimamia cha ODM kilichosalimu amri ya daima kwamba sisi tumeamua tutamuunga mkono Rais William Ruto, yani Linda Ground, na mzungumzia Oburu Odinga. Bila kubahatisha, Oburu Odinga ana historia iliyo na ushawishi siasani, sikatai, lakini matamshi yake ya hivi karibuni yanaibua kauli tofauti. Katika mkutano wa Ikulu Jumatano, Oburu alisimama kidete tena mbele ya Wakenya. Kilichofuata ni nyimbo za sifa kwake Rais William Ruto.
You have laid a foundation.
Nyimbo anazokusudia zitazidi kumzalishia matunda ya kuvuna minofu katika meza hiyo ya uongozi. Matunda haya hayafaidi mwananchi. Matamshi yake aliyaona ya mzaha kidogo, lakini kwa Wakenya ashakumsi matusi walitupiwa tope usoni. Ni hekima imekosekana kwa wazee wa siku hizi au wazee wa jadi hawapo tena? Hebu msikize jinsi alivyoongea Oburu.
We try to move, but private interests around who want to benefit from small infrastructure which does not move the country anywhere, always come in to put pressure on government not to move. And sometimes then there is too much democracy. There should be some little benevolent dictatorship so that some things can move. You are, Mr. President, I don't want to say that you should be a dictator. I'm not saying that. But some of these things, like the social health fund, the SHA, I think people who are criticizing it don't know what, they don't go into details of what is happening.
I was surprised and shocked that our brother Oburu, who comes from a family, a political family, which has fought for democracy and is in a party whose name bears the word democracy, would invite Ruto to be a benevolent dictator. You have heard about extrajudicial killing, abductions.
Indeed, democracy is an incredible thing.
Kwa matamshi haya, niseme Oburu Odinga ameonekana kuwa aibu ya taifa, na hasa kejeli kubwa kwa chama anachoongoza. Chama ambacho kilijulikana kwa kutetea maslahi ya taifa. Nimkumbushe Oburu kuwa ODM chini ya marehemu baba Raila Odinga kilikuwa chama kilichotetea maslahi ya Wakenya na haki zao kwa udi na uvumba. Hata wakati ambapo Raila Odinga alipoingia katika kushirikiana na serikali au viongozi waliokuwa serikali au mamlakani, kwa mfano alipojiunga na Uhuru Kenyatta na baadaye kushirikiana na Rais William Samoei Ruto, bado alisimamia msimamo wa kutetea demokrasia na wala sio kuinajisi. Matamshi ya Oburu Odinga hivi karibuni yanamkera Mkenya wa kawaida, yanamkera yeyote yule ambaye ana hamu ya kuona Kenya ikisonga mbele. Kila Mkenya mwenye ana akili hatafurahia matamshi haya. Oburu hajakuwa tu kejeli kwa katiba, bali pia amedhalilisha chama ambacho kimekuwa na heshima si tu hapa nchini bali dunia nzima. Viatu wanavyovaa Oburu Odinga ni vikubwa ajabu. Yaani uchukue viatu vya baba yako ambaye udhabiti wake wa demokrasia ulikuwa ngao yake, kisha ugeuke kuwa mwanakwaya maalum wa ubakaji wa demokrasia.
Democracy is on trial. Democracy on trial in Kenya.
Baba kipenzi cha wengi. Raila Odinga angeamka leo kutoka kaburini na ashuhudie yale ambayo ndugu yake anazungumza, najua machozi yangemtoka.
There is no other move which is nearer to the universal health care in this country than the SHA. We have covered now more than 30 million Kenyans.
The health cover that teachers were given by the employer is not working for the teachers.
Oburu, ulipofahamu hili, kuna watu walimwaga damu kutafuta uhuru wa demokrasia tunayosherehekea leo. Matamshi yako yanachoma na kuzidisha uchungu wa Wakenya, hasa Wakenya wanapoadhimisha siku ya Sabasaba. Yaani mzee huyu wetu haoni lolote lilofanyika, hadi anafanya mzaha na haki za Wakenya kwa kumtaka Rais Ruto kutumia mbinu za udikteta kuongoza taifa hili. Bora tu Oburu Odinga ametosheka.
Kuwa bila power. Ni lazima tupate power.
Oburu na kundi lake wamebaki kama kwaya ya Ikulu na serikalini. Tuseme hivi, kama mnataka nyimbo za kuimbia serikali, tengenezeni nyimbo na muimbe, wala msiguse demokrasia. Unajua hili ni jambo ambalo ni kinyume kabisa na jinsi baba Raila Odinga alivyokuwa na ODM ya zamani. Walitaka nchi iwe ya demokrasia. Vijana wa nchi hii bila shaka wanaona mambo yanayohuzunisha sasa. Ebu nimkumbushe Oburu Odinga kuwa demokrasia ya Kenya haikujengwa kwa siku moja. Wajukuu wako Oburu na hata wanafamilia wako ambao wana miaka mingi au michache kukuliko zaidi na wana miaka mingi ya kuishi hapa mbele wanahitaji demokrasia ili kusonga mbele. Wewe Oburu, kama ni njaa au hela zilizokupeleka kwa rais, kula, shiba, chukua hela, nyamaza. Wacha kupaka tope demokrasia ya nchi hii. Acha kupaka taifa zima tope ili uendelee kujaza tumbo lako. Na kumalizia, tazama jinsi Rais William Ruto na waziri wake wa fedha walivyomtazama Oburu alipokuwa akizungumza. Bila shaka kwa sura hizi na jinsi walivyofanya, sihitaji kusema mengi. Hilo ndio shoka la KTN. Salamu ziwafikie wakazi wa kijiji cha Opoda Farm kule eneo bunge la Bondo, kaunti ya Siaya. Nikiaga kwa msemo, akaaye meza moja na wanaomlisha hupoteza fahamu ya kufikiri. Jina langu ni Haman Kamariki.
And that support.
Okay, there you have it, the Oburu fiasco and the Oburu selling his soul for his own personal comfort at the expense of the blood-purchased liberties and freedoms of the Kenyan people. This is what happens when responsibilities are entrusted to people who don't know the journey that has been covered to get where we are. There is what we teach, principles of loyalty. And one of the principles of loyalty is that it requires a study of history. Many people are missing out on doing the right thing because they don't understand how much has been put into whatever it is that they are, working with. Suddenly it has, Kenya is now William Ruto and William Ruto is Kenya, and everybody must be what they can be by their proximity with William Ruto. I mean, look at history, look at the struggle, look at how many destinies have been crucified, how many have been raptured, how many lives have been lost in trying to get just space for even having a political party. Jaramogi, the father of Oburu, was under house arrest for years, not days, for years, just because he had a contrary opinion and he established a political party that was opposed to government, placed under house arrest. I mean, how do you come from that same family and begin to advocate for dictatorship again? Something is very wrong with the Linda ground team of ODM. There is something very wrong. Their heart is out of place. Their mind is not thinking straight. And that needs to speak to Kenyans very soundly and very clearly. We cannot allow ourselves to drift back into the dark days. And people are still disappearing. Abductions are on. And then you go out there and claim that you want to have a benevolent dictator. It is good for you. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. And we can't, play games with this anymore. Well, let's listen out to this one as we continue the conversation. The TikTokers will be resuming shortly. Just hold on. Listen to this young man and tell me, is he overthinking
in Kenyan politics?
Is the way it is?
And there is a very funny character that is arising in our country. That is a pure mole. When I say pure mole, yani ni mole kabisa. You see, Rigathi Gachagua should stop lying to Kenyans. Is either he comes out and says he's protecting the government from outside, or he just joins the government directly. You see, huyu Rigathi Gachagua, sio kwamba Rigathi Gachagua hafanyi kazi na government. In fact, this guy is not even in opposition. Huyu ndo nasikia anaita watu wenzake mole, sijui mole. This guy is deeply in government. And that is why this guy has got information ya kudistract watu. When a concentration comes, like saizi watu wameconcentrate kwa by election ya Ole Kalao. Rigathi Gachagua atajifanya amekuja na information, sijui nani amefanya nini, sijui nani amenunuliwa nyumba IBC, sijui nani amefanya, so that ile concentration ya watu itoke Ole Kalao ikwende huko. Then Ruto will win and he will come out and tell us venye imeibiwa Ole Kalao, venye alishasema watu wa IBC, and that is exactly the game that this guy wants to play for us in 2027. This guy is in government. This guy is with government, and Rigathi cannot dictate what the oppositions or give us the way forward as opposition. He is not a member of opposition. Hiyo ni kitu yenye lazima Rigathi Gachagua ajue. Yeye sio member ya opposition. He is part and parcel of this government. He only got himself in opposition by default. Tama yake ndilimfanya akatoka kwa serikali. He has never been part of the opposition. He is not an opposition. He is a hater. And even Uhuru Kenyatta himself has not recognized Rigathi Gachagua as part of his team. That is why hii kitu inaitwa united opposition. To us, Linda Mwananchi, we are not even part and parcel of united opposition. We are part and parcel of Kalonzo Musyoka because ODM is in Azimio. Omondi Karoli is in Azimio. Uhuru Kenyatta is in Azimio. Kalonzo Musyoka is in Azimio. Where does Rigathi Gachagua fall? Rigathi Gachagua wants to make himself the spokesperson of Central Kenya. Na Sifuna amemharibia hesabu. Linda Mwananchi amemharibia hesabu. He had come out, he wanted to expose himself like that person who can make decisions for the mountain. Anarudisha mlima kwa the same problem. Sasa, akiona mtu mwenye anakuja sincerely, mwenye ameona kuna shida, people like Kangata, anawaoppose. Anataka watu wa feel like kina Kangata should not be leaving the government. Kina Kangata are spies. Na yeye mwenye alitoka kwa serikali kwa sababu ya impeachment. Anataka kujifanya is so much in opposition. Anataka kujifanya yeye ndiye dominate opposition. Anataka kujiweka like he is the opposition spokesperson. He understands the opposition. Not the problem of Gachagua is thinking that he knows Ruto more than everybody. He was a deputy president. Huyu jamaa alikuwa anakaa kwa sensitive meetings na president. Hizi vitu nasikianga nakuja nayo ni vitu zingine ana second guess, zingine ni information anapatiwa for distraction. Rigathi Gachagua is not. And if he is capable of calling other people's mole in the opposition, then he is the chief mole and the person being used to cause disunity in opposition. There is no way. Kama kila mtu anasema one term, Kangata anasema one term, then you come out and say that sijui mkikuja ole nini, that's an internal thing. Rigathi Gachagua is not. Rigathi Gachagua is part and parcel of the government. He is only pretending to be in opposition to bring distraction. Linda Mwananchi is not part of Rigathi Gachagua. And I thank God from the statements Rigathi Gachagua made yesterday. Those Luo leaders who have been telling our people that, oh, Buru Odinga anatupeleka kwa Gachagua, Sifuna anatupeleka kwa Gachagua. Thank God, contrarily, you saw yesterday, Rigathi Gachagua, you are not even part and parcel of Rigathi Gachagua. You saw him owning Ole Kalao. And this one is a very simple prediction. You will come back to this video and remind me. UDA is going to win in Ole Kalao. And Rigathi Gachagua is going to come out and tell us how nyumba ilinunuliwa mtu wa IBC, venye imeibiwa. That's the game. That's the party yake amepewa acheze for the second term of William Ruto. Rigathi Gachagua is part and parcel of the moves of the president. He is not part of the opposition. He has never been in opposition. This governor from Central alikuwa naye sana, Kaiga. Is it Kaiga or who? But immediately UDA ilikuwa na delegates meeting in his county. He deflected immediately and left Rigathi Gachagua. He never gave the people the reason why he left Rigathi Gachagua. He never told people why he went back. Even the governors and the MPs who went back, they never told people. Because they had already played their role. The role of bringing Rigathi Gachagua out from government and imposing him to opposition. So mnadhani sisi ni wajinga tunakuja Rigathi Gachagua atiende opposition. Then the same card is being given to ODM Linda Tumbo Brigade. They are being instructed that now, for you to dismantle kina Sifuna, use Rigathi Gachagua. That is why ukienda kwa meetings zao, they are not telling our people anything. Oh, they are taking us to Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua ni mkabila. Rigathi Gachagua. So, unapata yeye Rigathi Gachagua huyu mwenye anatajwa ndio pone inachezewa both on the Linda ground na government. You've never seen anywhere where even ukiangalia kina Murkomen, kina nani Mudavadi, ukiangalia this politician kina Ichungwa, ukiangalia these bigger politicians, they don't insult anybody. They are on Rigathi Gachagua. So they are trying to make us feel like Rigathi Gachagua was removed from government and now is the opposition. Rigathi Gachagua is not the opposition. Now what your opposition? Linda Mwananchi, tusiweke concentration yetu kwa Rigathi Gachagua. He is not part and parcel of this movement. Opposition imebeba Kalonzo Musyoka. Opposition imebeba Matiang'i, Martha Karua. Martha Karua in fact ndio the chief opposition leader because she was the running mate of Raila Odinga. Rigathi Gachagua ametumwa pale kuweka confusion kwa opposition, kuleta ukabila. That is why kila kitu yake analeta ukabila so that he gives the people of Linda Tumbo what to talk about and also to give the people of the government what to say about. That is why unaweza pata instead of attacking Sifuna, watakwambia Sifuna anatupeleka kwa Gachagua. Gachagua ni mkabila. Mkabila who is posing him as mkabila? The government. And hii kitu ya Olekalao imemexpose vizuri sana, tunajua mall kwa opposition ni nani. Anakuja like you see kina Kangata are those people who come out of government sincerely that sisi tumetoka nataka kusupport Linda Mwananchi. Hiyo Rigathi ataki. Rigathi does not want any Kikuyu that opposes the government, but he wants to be the Kikuyu that can oppose the government. Nani ni wajinga? Saizi if he is attacking Uhuru Kenyatta because yeye ndiye aliingiza wa Kikuyu kwa hii mess. Na bado anatumiwa tu. This person gets instructions from the government. Do this, do this, do the UDA inaenda kushinda. The person assisting UDA kushinda Olekalao ni Metu na Rigathi Gachagua. Hizo zingine mnaona ni show off. Show games. See election next week. Come back to this video. That is what they are trying to do to us. Like, sasa wanataka tuamini kwamba Gachagua is part of opposition. Gachagua really hates the government. Gachagua really knows the government. Gachagua really knows the secrets, so that watu wa concentrate kwa Gachagua tutoke kwa main goal, which is Linda Mwananchi, which is Sifuna, which is 2027, which is one term. That's the truth. Sisi kama Linda Mwananchi, we have no business with Rigathi Gachagua. Sisi kama opposition, we know very well that this person is not part of us, has never been part of us, and will never be part of us. He is the government's mole. Look, nini litoa this Western guy. Eventually they will go back to UDA water. The Cleophas Malala, who tells you that he's at the end just deputy party leader Rigathi Gachagua, who lies to you. From being the Secretary General of a bigger party, a ruling party, sijui to what. These are two people wenye wametumwa kuweka confusion kwa united opposition yenye ni Azimio. And those are the pawns of the president. Which is politics, we agree. Politics is a brain game. But now Kenyans lazima tukue macho na to realize kwamba Rigathi Gachagua opposition. The statements he made about
Haya, hapo ndio mambo yamefika. Huyo kijana hapo anasema kwamba Rigathi Gachagua inakaa kana kwamba anapinga lakini pia anasaidia. So ningependa kusikia maoni yako the same. Do you agree with the analyst there about the stand of Rigathi Gachagua? And why would Rigathi Gachagua have a problem with Linda Mwananchi if Linda Mwananchi is one term and Rigathi Gachagua is one term and the united opposition is one term? what is wrong with the Linda Mwananchi offering help in the campaigns in Olkalau? How will they affect we call it what? How will they affect the contribution of Rigathi Gachagua in his quest for leading the mountain? Something needs to be made clear, and I think it is important that we begin to read between the lines and not just believe people from the surface. In my opinion, there is more to what Rigathi Gachagua is doing than meets the eye, and the Kenyans need to be careful. I have no problem with the Rigathi Gachagua leading the mountain, but we must not forget that we are a constitutional democracy. We are a constitutional democracy. And the best thing to happen to this country is when this country is governed according to the Constitution. Our fight, our push must all be geared towards what? Making this country constitutional. Everything else is unacceptable. Everything else is a deviation. And the moment we deviate from what should be, what happens is that we end being part of the problem other than being the solution. So William Ruto is not governing this country rightly because he's ignoring the Constitution, is disregarding the Constitution, and that is making him a bad leader, because the best leader for this country is one who grounds the country and ensures that the constitutional systems and constitutional values are upheld. And so if Rigathi Gachagua is contributing to the confusion, or any other leader for that matter, instead of them establishing us in the constitution like the madness that we have just talked about, Oburu talking about benevolent dictator, then you know they are all cut from the same piece of fabric and they cannot do anything different. And that is why the draining of the swamp has to be intensified. Mkenya Mkora, hali vipi?
Been a long time. How are you doing today, Pastor Bernard?
Great, great. I'm happy to hear you.
God is good all the time, man.
Amen.
Wacha nikimbie kitu haraka haraka. Let me go to this Gachagua thing. You remember when he was impeached, we used to say, give him the mic. But I think the mic is starting to become too heavy for him. Because when I heard him say that Irungu Kangata should not go to Olkalau and talking about Msilete Kierere, this is local politics. I never commented anything on my social places, but at that time I heard unasikia kale kabaridi kana kushika hivi yo unashikwa na kabaridi fulani. What did you just say? I mean, we just came from people telling us, no, you should not come to Kisumu. You've been in Machakos, you've been all over, you're walking all over, and now you're telling us not to go. I mean, isn't it the borders of the country? It's within the borders of the country. Do I need to get your permission to come? And anyways, I'm coming to help you out. So what is he talking about? I mean, it made me go back and look at why he was impeached. I'm sorry to say that. And I've been a supporter of him to get the microphone so that he can tell us where the rot is. What's going on with the crocodile in the river. But at this time, I really went back to look at. Wait, why was this guy impeached again?
No, I think he's just being marking his territory, and his overconfidence makes him unfit for leadership. Being able to do things doesn't mean that you reach a place where you claim you don't need anybody. No matter how great we grow and no matter how smart we grow, we'll always need somebody to watch us. And so saying that he doesn't need Linda Mwananchi in Olkalau because Olkalau is a local area where the politics should be local, he's not the patron and the prefect of how localization of Olkalau has to take place. Who says we have to take permission from him to visit Olkalau?
That's exactly when I went. That's exactly why I went back to look at. Oh Lord, why was this guy impeached again? Could that be been a truth? I mean, kuna kaukoli kalikuwa mahali. You're not going to tell me not to go to Olkalau. As who? And anyways, I'm coming for your advantage. It's kind of like, Bernard, if I come to your church, I might be a Catholic. And I'm coming for an Arambe in your church, which is not Catholic. What's the problem?
There shouldn't be any problem.
Yes, exactly. And then on the same time, now Irungu Kangata has been hit out there. You know what we are going to say? We are going to say is Gachagua who said that. He's the one that sent the goons. The same thing that Kinaruto have been doing, saying that Gachagua sends his own goons. So, but he's the one that said, Musikuje hapa. Okay. The other thing, Orengo now uko juu, lakini the Orengo ones and Sifunas, those ones, that one was taken care of. Kisumu doesn't play those games. I don't know if you saw that.
They did well. They did well to arrest the situation. But on that point, you are talking about Gachagua being accused for sending the goons. It's already trending. It's already on the social media. I saw this guy. What is his name? He was vying for the, I think, Senate of Nyeri. I can't remember his name. He looks like Tony Kashoga, but he's younger. He was also working in Raila Odinga's office. What is his name? He has already posted that he can't imagine that Gachagua can send goons to attack Kangata. So itabidi wakuwe na conference kwa sababu hakuna vile Gachagua atahepa huo mtego. Then if you listen to what is his name, Murkomen today, he's also insinuating the same thing. And so when you are in a tussle between two forces, you must be careful on what you say because it will be used against you. So instead of Murkomen owning up the security docket and the responsibility of protecting Kenyans, is now carrying the whole blame and place it on Gachagua's doorstep. He says he's the one working with the goons against Linda Mwananchi. When, a close scrutiny, it's clear it's the government that is afraid of Linda Mwananchi.
Me, kwanza, the one I'm scared of in that case, the one I'm scared of is when Kasongo will hold that microphone.
Is there any time Kasongo is without microphone?
Gachagua is cooked at this point. When Kasongo will hold that microphone, atasema kule goons wanatoka. I mean, this guy sometimes, even though you're being smart and trying to do some things, you have to limit yourself on things to react, things to talk, and how to talk. Bernard Kasongo akishika hiyo microphone at goons wote watakuwa wanani wakashagwa. Watch this space.
It's the master of blame game. Anakugeusia na wewe ndio unapigwa mawe na mlikuwa mnaiba pamoja ama yeye ndio alikuwa mwizi.
Mtu afunze Kashagwa kunyamaza saa zingine bwana. Amejiingiza kwa shimo ingine mbaya.
Let's wait for Thursday. Is it Thursday or when the elections is on the 16th? If he loses that seat, it will be very, very embarrassing. And the William Ruto fraternity are determined to make him lose. So, mambo yakai vizuri. Probably that's why he's.
But you see, Mr. Bernard, Pastor Bernard, the thing is that Olkalau is going to be taken by DCP. But, okay, that was until Gachagua spoke that Matope and did that. That was gone. Right now, I don't know. Actually, because I think either today and watch, just mark my words, either today or tomorrow. So, Mesema Murkomen Asha Sema, you watch, Ruto will come in hard, or his minions, saying Gachagua is the one that did Nini. And also, people remember Gachagua says he's a Mount Kenya, Nini. And now he's attacked one of his own, a Mount Kenya person that actually has defected and moved on to the opposition. And we claim to say that all opposition is together. We are just not going to tell Ruto who is running against. So he should have just let Kangata do their own thing. Whoever, the way we've been running very well. Bernard, and you remember, sometime last year I told you, we made a mistake in the last election by telling Ruto who to fight. You know, right now he doesn't know who to fight. That's what Nani should have been, a team player. This guy Wamunyoro should have been a team player. Everybody is just kila mtu ende uchome na huko, we mwingine choma na huku, choma na huku, choma na huku. Let the guy be a very clueless human being that does not even know who is fighting. Now Wamunyoro now is starting to fight himself inside the team. You know, when you're playing a game, you're fighting your own team. Who said Linda Mwananchi is not in opposition?
Even if it is not, we are free to campaign everywhere and anywhere. Number two, the Linda Mwananchi programs don't even need the by-elections. They have been going to different parts, listening to Wananchi and giving the Wananchi what they need to hear. So the program of Linda Mwananchi being in Nyahururu and Nyandarua, it had already been pre-arranged. It had nothing to do with the by-elections or a DCP candidate in the Olkalau. So responding to that matter, it is only points one thing. You see what is being pushed online, the suggestion that the new Kenya will require youthful leadership, Sifuna president and Kangata deputy. You saw that post. Yeah. That is what is the problem. Okay, the moment Kangata appears that is surpassing Gachagua, then of course the carpet is pulled from underneath Gachagua. He goes to oblivion. So he has to fight tooth and nail to keep, because kulingana na kile ambacho kinaendelea aswa mlimani ni kwamba usipopitia kwa Gachagua hawezi kuchaguliwa. Hiyo ndio kadi ambayo anaitumia. And so kama Kangata ataibuka nawe sasa yeye ndio kiongozi wa mlima, basi Gachagua ameisha na hataki hiyo ishe. And because of that trying to protect that jealously is why he's making the blunders of talking without thinking. He was simply bragging. I don't think he even alikuwa anafikiria wakati anaongea. Kwake yeye kila alichomaanisha nikiangalia vizuri ni kwamba DCP isha cover ground na hata Linda Mwananchi ikija it won't make any difference. Hiyo kiti ishakuwa reserved for DCP. He was only bragging, but because he wasn't thinking while speaking, he ended up saying the opposite of what he meant. Now, and of course, politicians being opportunists, they pounce on it and use it against him. And so he will need to clear the air. He will need to clear the air. And then, of course, kuna rumors hapo ambazo zinatokana na kuna vuta ni kuvute. Umemsikiza Muturi?
Justin, yeah.
What is the matter with him that he wants the presidential candidate named now? Is he not working with Ruto?
No, I think honestly, maybe on this one, maybe I might talk about it. I think I kind of understand the thinking of Muturi kidogo. Is kind of like Muturi is thinking about, and remember he was the Speaker of the Parliament. I think Muturi where he is, he's like, let's go to war. We've been holding it for a long time. Tutangaze bwana tuende tu hii kitu, because remember it's only 2 months before now we get into the official election or campaign period. I think for him he's starting to tell people, come on guys, tushikane sisi wote, Linda Mwananchi nini, and let's just give these guys something to fight with. But the rest of the guys, they learned, kama sisi, we learned the hard lesson last time. Guys are saying, no, we are together, but we are not going to tell him. Wacha kwanza tusumbue. So I think, I hear you wanted to say something. They're
really political cards that, of course, the professor of politics, Raila Odinga himself, played. Is you don't even make a coalition too early because it will be dismantled. And you see the way even Linda Mwananchi has been infiltrated and they want it dismantled at its inception. And so Muturi insisting that somebody has to be named as a presidential candidate and bunge lijavunjwa, okay? Ofisa wa serikali hawaja resign. IBC imesema wana resign February of next year. You get that? Why should there be a pressure of us having a presidential candidate now and give Ruto somebody to punch until they finish the person before even the really campaign begin? So there is some pressure is also under. And from what I heard from Kumekucha, ni kwamba mtu wenu Kalonzo anaona kama hii kitu itangoja mpaka Sifuna awekwe kwa list ya wale watu ambao wanagombea tiketi ya opposition, hatapata nafasi nzuri alionayo saa hii ya kupewa hiyo ticket ni ifanywe saa hii ili Linda Mwananchi ikishika ground ikuje tu kujiingiza. Unakumbuka vile kulikuwa na shida time ya Azimio, Kalonzo anavuta huku, Raila anavuta huku, anasema aenda afanye interview wengine yote. Kalonzo wanted to be such a way that yeye ndio atakuwa mkubwa, so hao wengine wakija wamkute yeye ndio mkubwa, awafanyishe interview ndio awapatie sehemu.
If you remember very well, Pastor, if you remember very well, even Kalonzo at some point disappeared, said, no, I'm not going to be here. And you remember us going through back and forth, and I was telling you, Kalonzo will just come back. His ego is being messed up with. And he came back. So now, here's my thinking.
Okay.
Muturi has like a point. And the point that Muturi has is something that has been messing with my mind. You see, United Opposition has so many people. Some of them that kuna watu wamekuwa vice president, kuna watu wamekuwa magavana, and sometimes even me. And then there's also this Linda Mwananchi. And also there's the incoming people who are independent people who are very famous. Not really famous, but politically right with the current generation, current days. I've been trying to look at, and maybe you can try to kind of get this arithmetic, which is not working for me. I've tried to put that arithmetic together. So, okay, assuming we say Sifuna is going to be the torchbearer. Okay. Thank God, Babu. I was hoping Babu will not get into that thing, but Babu amejieka mali safe. We know that's Nairobi governor. These other people in all the opposition, I'm grateful for the courts. In as much as say that, si ati namchukia, lakini he seems ish. We know Gachagua is not going to be anywhere. Because constitutionally, chapter 6 is gone. Unless something changes. Okay, we have the Muturis who have been speakers. We have all these people. How do you do that? We still have Malakarua. I think with Malakarua, that one, I think in my arithmetic, I think that one is going to the justice system. Now, what do we do with all these people? How do you do this arithmetic? I want to see I want you to tell me how this arithmetic can be. There are so many people, and there's going to be egocentric, birthday party. I throw it back to you.
I've told you before that coalitions are never made out of friendships. Political coalitions are made out of inconvenience, running out of options. You see the way Martha Karua says she's not going to deputize anybody. Okay? She has to be on the ballot. Kalonzo the same. What is his name? Matiang'i the same. So what is at play here is that it is still too early in the day for anybody to consider ceding ground for another until the 11th hour. So any coalition that's made now, and I've reminded you, history has our lessons always. You remember G7 in 2013? Yes. G7 went around the country. We are going to stand Kamatusa, Sujui Kamawat, and Gema come together. We're going to work together and all that. By that time, Baba alikuwa azaanzisha code. Okay? It had never been even thought about. And this we went around for almost 6 months, almost a year. Zile maombi walikuwa naomba zile za Hague na hiyo maneno. Ilikuwanga inaitwa G7. Did it make it to the ballot? It did not make it to the ballot. They disintegrated. So it is dangerous for any coalition to be made now because it will not hold to the elections. That is why even Baba alikuwa anachelewesha. Azimio ilikuwa less than 6 months, 3 months to election. So you just need to lay down your proper strategy. And that is what Sifuna was saying. We should not work out on who is going to be the torch bearer. Right now, let us build momentum. Let's go around the country. Let's build a forceful force and wave in the country that anybody we put as flag bearer is going to win the vote of the majority of Kenyans. And the same thing happened in 2002.
Yeah, Kibaki Kesa.
Remember,
That happened like
Kibaki,
3 months.
Yes, well, Kibaki, Ngilu, and Wamalwa had agreed with NAK. Okay, they were still in discussions before Raila and the Kalonzo and Saitoti walked out of Kanu. You get that? Then they were forced to enter into a coalition, not because they wanted to. They had no choice. That is how proper political coalitions are made. So right now, this dildaling here, kununuliwa ice cream, kununuliwa chocolate, tafadhali kuja tukunywe chai, it is far from being formed. And anybody making anything concrete right now, that concrete is bound to break. So hakuna haja Muturi aseme tu kile kinamsumbua, na kile kinachomsumbua ni kwamba chama yake DP haina washirika wengi, okay? So akikuja kwa meza kudiscuss hana sauti ya kutosha. The same thing.
Yeah,
so
he's trying to force chama yake ionekane nini ndio watu waanze kuongea mapema anyway haina mtu either way.
No, apewe. Unakumbuka ile nini ile Kalonzo alilazimisha kwamba Azimio itwe Azimio One Kenya?
Oh, yes.
Those are the things Muturi is working out. He wants the new coalition to have DP somewhere and to have DP to be recognized somewhere. He doesn't want it to be late in the day where he will be on the table as an individual and not as the party leader. He wants that party leader tag to be on, so that if there are any benefits that are supposed to accrue to party leaders, he will get that particular benefit, even if chama yake haina mtu. Unakumbuka ile ya Wetangula? There will be, it's going to be noisy, and it's going to be what?
It's going to be noisy and noisy.
Na yeye ndio senator peke yake wa Ford Kenya. So it is the same disease that is afflicting Muturi. He may be the only one on that, may be elected on that party, or not even elected at all. So he wants to secure it before the elections, so that regardless of the outcome of the elections, he will have his stake. He's trying to save his goose. So to me, nobody should pressurize anybody to enter into any coalition now. Watu waende kuinda individually. Parties to go wajibuild. The way Baba alikuwa amesema, watu Azimio kila mtu aende kujenga boma lake. Umalize kujenga boma lako, tutakutana baadaye. That to me is important, not what is being pushed, that tuingia tukubaliane pamoja, tutengeneze sijui to declare who is going to be a presidential candidate. Declare presidential candidate before even the seats are declared vacant. So you want a presidential candidate to go and do what?
So you can start bashing them.
That means you are playing for the opposition. You're playing for the government.
That's why, Bernard, I'm saying, Pastor Bernard, that's why I'm saying we made a huge mistake in last elections, because we all know Baba had won that thing, and him and Mother Karua. But we gave this thing way too early. And you remember at some point that I keep on saying this. Remember at some point we were saying Baba should not even move with Mother Karua. Mother Karua should go to Machakos when Baba is in Kisumu. This time, I'm loving when they're all splitted, but they're threatening to come together. Be it whatever you want to call it, Linda Mwananchi, be it the Nani, Kalonzo, and whatever you want to call it. They just disappear so that this guy does not know who to attack. Once you give this guy a target, that's the problem. I don't know if you agree with me.
It's an own goal, and it will be disastrous. You're not the kind of person. Let me just maybe play this cry to clip for you to understand what we are dealing with. You can be able, if care is not taken, this own goal can be very disastrous. Just let's listen to this and then pick it up.
Knows William Ruto more than myself. Tulikuwa mbunge na yeye 1997. Ndio tulikuwa mbunge, Maura alitoka akatuacha. Tuliendelea na Ruto. There is no election which Ruto has ever lost. Hiyo miaka yote tangu ingie mpaka sasa, he has never lost an election. Hii ingine mnasema Jomo Kenyatta alikuwa hapo 3 terms. Moi akaingia 4 terms. Karibu 5. Kibaki akaingia 2 term. Uhuru 2 terms. Do you think Ruto is so foolish? That at the end atakuwa 1 term aende nyumbani. What are you mtu? You don't know who you are dealing with. Kama alitushinda tukiwa kwa serikali, my friend, pangeni maendeleo kutoka 2028 mpaka 2032 mkiwa na yeye, because hiyo ingine ni kelele tunapiga few months na hakuna president hajapigiwa kelele. I was there, I was a student, university student wakati wa Jomo, tulimpigia kelele sana. Then Moi akaja, simi nilikuwa hapo. Tukapiga kelele na akaendelea. Sidio? Kibaki akapigiwa yake, Uhuru. Hata hii ingine ya Ruto, hii ni kawaida. There is no president who will don't make noise at.
Okay, Kenya Mkora, briefly before we bring it over, unaona Kiraitu has negated everything he has been known for. Was he ever in the struggle as it is stipulated? Now, what is he saying?
Honestly, I think he's speaking the unspoken word that we should, and goes back to what we have been saying for the last 20 minutes, that we need to be very careful and not give him a target. I think that's what Kiraitu is saying without saying it directly. That be careful, because if you give him a target, then he's a sharpshooter. He's gonna shoot that target. But the moment you don't give him a target, he doesn't know where to shoot. I'm speaking this hypothetically. Let me yield my time to Robert.
So, Robert, how are you long time?
Long time, Bernard, ya habari. Sijui hata leo anachitaje sasa. And he keeps on changing his names every day, but hey. So, I don't know. This is my first time in a long time kuja kwa show yako na kuangalia sometimes. Thank you. Let me start from where it is. Maybe, I don't know where you are in your politics right now, Bernard, but everybody has his own opinion. As we know, Kenya is a democracy. We say we are a democracy. So huyu jamaa anaitwa Murungi kuja kusema ya kwamba this route. So what we are forgetting is, unless tuko Uganda Tanzania, then they can say what they want to say. I can tell him point blank, if opposition, if the United Front and the Linda Mwananchi wachague Sifuna as a presidential candidate, then they support him, Ruto ataenda nyumbani. That's a fact. Sasa hata hii Murungi anatuambia alikuwa na Kenyatta, amekuwa na Moi, Kibaki. How is your problem? What is your problem? So he's telling us that he has been there and he sees what's going to happen. You know, nonsense kwake. I don't believe what he says. Aenda hao ndio Buru Odinga. Hao ndio watu wamesumbua Kenya. These are the people who need to be wiped out, to be swept out in your chaff. Unaona, Kenya needs to have a new start. Ruto has led the country is out of control right now. There's no security in the country right now. When you see people just coming attacking other politicians kwa sababu hiyo ndio sasa tunaambia ati Ruto. Ati hiyo Ruto sasa ndiye ameenda ati kwa sababu yeye anataka watu. Hiyo ni uchinga, kura ndio naamua. And at the end of the day, sio ati kifua you don't know who you are dealing with. When Ruto is going to force everybody to vote for him kwa sababu yeye ni Ruto. Yeah? So Mount Kenya, unajua wanasema because they are eyeing at mambo ya Kindiki. Au ni Meru, au ni hapo Embu wanakita east whatever Mount Kenya. Okay, wacha wajitenge, that's fine. But let's say Ruo unit comes together, Kisii unit comes together. Then we have the Kamba unit comes together. Then Mount Kenya, the other part of Mount Kenya comes together. Nani atawashinda? All they need is just wakwe pamoja. I mean, I wouldn't mind if I see 3 functions and that might happen. That's most likely to happen. Hakuna mtu atafika 50%. Lakini kutuambia ati Ruto hawezi kuwa defeated na nini hiyo mtu amwambie ni uchinga wake, hiyo ni aende. Hii mambo hii ni ofio. Who cares about that? Things have to change. Unaona? Ruto was given a chance by the Kenyan people to come in. All he had to Bernard, we were on this show, we said wakati ulishindwa. Somehow us tulikuwa na suit na kila kitu wakati tufikiri papa atawin. Unaona? We came and said, if he comes in and he builds the economy of Kenya, the economy, and he unites the country, and he takes the country in the next stage, he can win easily come to the election. Unaona? But this man has come in, he has proven to be a killer, he's a murderer. He has come in, he has messed up the economy of the country. There's no security in Kenya. And then from there, mtu mwingine anaitwa Kirudi Murungi anatuambia ati mnatini nini? Kwani huyu Ruto? Si Ruto yeye amesaliwa kama Sifuna ama mtu yoyote. Yeah? The country is ready for change. And I'm telling you, they will be shocked. They'll be shocked wakati watashindwa from there waseme ikuwe 207 tena. 207 hiyo ndio the end of Kenya, mimi nakwambia. If they made a mistake, this is going to be a civil war. That's what is building up right now. They should not make a mistake. There's a reason why we have a democracy na katiba. Unaona? Lakini kama wanafikiri watakuja kuiba kura, let them try. Good luck for them. If that's the case, the Kenyan people will not accept. Imeenda. As long as the united opposition unites and say enough is enough, let us go and get our. They mean there's hope. There's hope. There's hope. Nana, there's no way Ruto can win even the second round. Come eat other 3 functions. But I ended then from there. He has used his money and whatever. But the problem is our institutions doesn't work. Nimalize niseme hivi. Can somebody ask me or can somebody tell me where Ruto is getting all this money if he's not getting the money from the people's money? Why is he getting all this billions money and we are allowing him to do so? How comes the ESC or DCI, they have not started investigating some of these things like the firearms? All this money which is being flooded around, what when money helicopters na nini. They are just, how comes they are not investigating? So Ruto has done what he wanted to from the beginning. To capture everybody. He's a dictator. Somebody should just, I don't know. I mean, this man is just like, he's just that he wants to be Moi. But he will be realized that it's time when it comes to 2027, they will just go against him. And let's see what happens next week in or Karao. He's going to be defeated there from what I'm seeing. But at the end of the day, it's up the united opposition and the Rina Mwananchi and the other functions to come together. If they come together, Ruto has no chance. And that's my take.
Okay, thank you, Roba, for that. We appreciate. And I talk Ken Daniels, something like that. Secretary was recently given a job by Ruto, Ameshiba. It is expected to praise his regime. This regime is a nobody in Meru politics. Yes, and Sifu yule aliyempatia mkate. He was appointed, I think, chair of a parastatal somewhere. So yeye ashapata mkate wake, ajali kile ambacho kitafanyika Kenya. Kile ambacho kinaniudhi sana ni kwamba ukiangalia the struggle of a better Kenya, multi-party, whatever dispensation in Kenya, Kiraitu's name is there. People were detained in Nyayo House and detention without trial. Kiraitu is there. Why is he now dropping the baton right now, the time when we are about to harvest the fruits of the long suffering of struggle in order to attain a better Kenya? Something is not adding up with these elderly people who are known for fighting for a better Kenya, and now they have given up and they want now to invite us into giving up. The same thing you see with Atuoli, the same thing you see with Mudavadi, you see it with Wetangula. They have all given up. Nobody can beat Ruto. Ruto is too much to be challenged and things like that. That is a narrative that we should stand against with everything we have and everything we are. We need a president in this country who can make this country function constitutionally. Not this benevolent of Nyota here, Shah here, give out here, give handout here. We want a country where our children can go to school and get quality education, go to hospital and get quality health care without caring who is the president, without minding who is in charge of what. We need a country where systems are working, not this mess where now the whole country has been put in one pocket of one William Ruto, that there will be no youth empowerment without Ruto. There will be no church building without Ruto. There will be no medication without Ruto. That is not the Kenya we fought for. So let everybody wake up and realize that William Ruto is not up to good as far as making Kenya better. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining in the conversation. Masandi haya yameanza kukatika. Kama unakuja njoo mapema tukazungumze. Jimo Mbati anasema Oburu giving out money like Ruto used to do. It's very sad. I saw that clip. It really, and the kind of money they are giving. I mean, something is wrong. Something is wrong with this country. That Ruto has sent 10 million. This one has brought 5 million. This one has brought, and the money is bundled in broad daylight against the law, against the constitution. This is not the Kenya we want. Mkenya Mkora, ongezea kabla to change gears. Tunapaswa kuzungumza kidogo kuhusu 26th alafu.
Okay, niko na vitu I want to thank Roba, amekuja na very good point. Hiyo point yake naielewa vizuri. By the way, and just out of naivety, is Kiraitu Murungi an elected person right now?
No, he lost to Mwangaza, and Mwangaza, they were the force behind the impeachment of Mwangaza so that they can bring in their counterpart ambaye anasifiwa sahi ndio yule alikuwa deputy wa Mwangaza.
So who is he now at this point?
Hao ndio watu wa Njuri Njeke. Sahi amekuwa appointed amekuwa appointed head of which parastatal? I think communication. There is competition authority. Yes, competition authority.
What is a competition authority? Compete what?
Competition authority is like communication authority. The one that balances between different products on the market, so that wewe usitulete bairo yako unauza milioni 7 na bairo yangu nauza shilingi 2. There's competition.
There's an authority like that.
Yes. Yes.
Mtu tu analala tu hivi anasema something authority. Next time mtasema Mkenya Mkora authority.
Now najua Kenya Mkora at the same time what they don't even they hate women in power. That's why waliwekea Mwangaza mpaka wakamtoa. You know, they have a tradition, yet they kind of, you know, they don't, they work on the old mentality ya ujinga that the women cannot read them. Women should be like, here mentality. Ukiangalia the saga yote ya huyu mama Mwangaza, the way she was impeached, some things came up sio abuli huyu vile alikuwa wanamuita. It's nonsense from what comes from Meru. And at the end of the day, wacha tuseme ukweli, at the end of the day, he's not the one who was going to divine what people of Meru want. He was defeated as chama chake cha bas. Unaona, he was defeated by a single person who came from nowhere. As Kiri, that's the way Kenya would go. At this day, at the end of the day, what just point me at William Ruto amefanya nini? Point me out. We just point out. We had jobs. Where are jobs? The reasons why we see this gonism na mambo mengine, that's what William wanted. Aweke watu kwa mfuko, hiyo ndio bottom up alikuwa anatuambia, bottom up. You want to make transition, he wanted to change Kenya. So he wanted to change Kenya from what we had progress tulikuwa nayo to downgrade, and apakie huko kuwa the president pengine baadaye na yeye akuwe nini kama Museveni, apatie mtoto wake na nini, kwa sababu that's what he has in mind. That's why he was against this constitution. Somebody has to tell him it's time for him to say enough is enough. Let us the main man, let me govern the country, because at the end of the day, William Ruto will be defined, his presidency will be defined as somebody who allowed goodism and incapable of bringing Kenya from where it was progressing. I brought it down. Is a reckless man. Is just like somebody who should not be given a second term. Time for him to go.
Thank you, Robert.
Okay.
Bernard, wacha nimalize kidogo because siko nimaliza, lakini I like what Robert is really. Yeah, Bernard, I want to just make 2 points. There's one that I want to make, and I want to give a shout out to people of Kalau. They were given mattresses, but instead of taking them home, they took them to the hospital. They say, no, we have mattresses in our homes. We are taking them to the hospital. This is where the mattresses belong. So I that's a shout out, and it's a real thing. It's a mechanical thing that I saw very well, that actually everybody returned the mattresses and took them to the hospital. And is this narrative that has been pushed by Ruto, like everybody in Kenya is poor, they don't have their homes, then hence the house levy, and these houses, we don't even know who's the landlord and everything, and people are boycotting that because everybody has their own thing. Bernard, I mean, even at 30, assuming you were 30, I know you're not, but even at 30, by that time you already know where you're going to live and the job that you're working and everything. I mean, what is this that you're telling me that now I have to go live somewhere? And who's my landlord? Anyways, so is this geopolitical culture of some politicians who think that once you get into that little office, the rest of the people are stupid, you're the only smartest person? And that is what Ruto has. And not just Ruto, it's a lot of them. That I remember telling you, Bernard, showing you a clip of Kimani Ichung'wah asking, or ata Ruto, we kijana unanijibu kama nani? You see, because they think we don't know what we are doing. And that's the thing that I'm liking nowadays, that people are starting to talk and people are not paying attention. And so even the goonism that is coming in, no wonder wengine, mi mtu akichomewa hiyo motorbike yake kama ile ya Kisumu, hizo zenye zimechomwa, I think they were 9 of them or something, I counted. Chomewa bwana, ulikuwa unafanya nini huko? Ulikuwa unaenda kanisa kwenda kusumbua watu kufanya nini? And I think that's the only way they can understand this nonsense that they're trying to bring. And I can see people really starting to do that. And Bernard, as I know you want to switch gears, the other thing I've been saying is that whenever I see a crowd wearing the same regalia, I walk away. Not just walk away, I don't even watch. And that's why I like the Linda Mwananchi. They don't buy any regalia. Imagine it's the people actually themselves that actually take Uber zile tuliitwa to a Uber na KFC. They go themselves. And they give everything and they tell them this is where you're going to do your your show or whatever you're going to do. Wanapiga sherehe, wanamaliza, wanaenda wanakaa mahali wanapiga sherehe, then they finish and then the cars start moving back. Like what we saw in Kiumbu, that was stupidity. Now look at Kiumbu people crying that there's no need, there's no people are not buying anything from them. It is because of that nonsense. I mean, people will not do it, so we'll sabotage you. Anyway, I know you want to move to the next topic, so let me leave it at that.
So thank you for highlighting that. And of course, I love the solidarity of Kenyans. That when Linda Mwananchi says tusinunue, hakuna mtu ananunua mpaka waende hapo watufungulie watakaze kwanza ndio tuanze kununua tena. So hiyo ni example, and I'm happy that the media captured it, and everywhere in the country is now clear that political intolerance and the Goonism culture that they want to entrench is unacceptable. It is affecting the whole fabric of our society, and we have not related in that manner. We should not be allowed to succumb to the current pressure of people bringing foreign behaviors in our midst by dividing us for their political gain. We had forgotten this business of being chased in a place because of belonging to a different political faction. We didn't have much of it. It is a return. The Moi was the force behind all this historically, that the opposition could not hold a rally, they could not address people. And then Ruto is having been, of course, a participant in Youth for Kanu 92, and they were the people who were wreaking havoc against opposition political parties. So it appears he has gotten that old book of Kanu rules that he is trying to implement at this point in time, in a wrong time, wrong dispensation, and wrong wrong constitutional time. Let's hear this guy here, and then we look into the fears that Ruto has about Linda Mwananchi. Let's listen to this Ayala member of parliament. Sorry.
Sera na kwamba saa 2 asubuhi atakuwa amewamaliza. Tumemsikia rais akisema hawana mpango, hawana sera, na kwamba saa 2 asubuhi atakuwa amewamaliza. Wewe hapa jeshi yake ambao mnafaa kumaliza hawa watu saa 2 asubuhi, unasema ameelekeza makini yake kwa watu ambao hawastahili. The wrong direction. Anafaa kuelekeza huko kwingine.
Kama ilikuwa tunamaliza hao kwa vita ya ngumi, ingekuwa saa 2. Lakini hapa ni wananchi. So the people will decide eventually. So tutawamalizia tukipitia kwa nguvu ya wananchi. Na nguvu ya wananchi ni kama tukaweza consolidate ili wazichukuliwe na kina Sifuna. So naogopa kina Sifuna because wewe umeona mikutano yao. Unajua hiyo mikutano yao ni organic. Hakuna pale promise, hakuna fedha, hakuna nini, ni organic.
Na hii nyingine.
Na sisi pia tulikuwa katika UDA na Uhuru Kenyatta na Raila Odinga walikuwa pia wanaenda mkutano. Na watu walikuwa wanakuja, lakini yetu ndio ilikuwa organic na tuliwaonyesha. Kwa hivyo I'm saying we have to up our sleeves. Kama tunawamalizia saa 2 asubuhi. Kwa sababu hatuwezi malizia na ngumi, hatuwezi malizia na kisu ambao kamanda in chief ako nayo, tunamalizia kupitia kwa kura ya wananchi. Na wananchi, let the people decide. You know the words of Ken Jido Stanley Matiba. Na ndio mimi nasema watu hiyo organic crowd yenye na venye iko charge. Haya.
Unahisi itaendelea hivyo mpaka
haya lakini tutaweka break. Tutangangana nao.
Radio Citizen.
Bernard, lazima ukweli hivyo.
Sorry?
Lazima ungechapa watu ukweli hivyo.
Sasa sio mimi ni mmoja wao. So huyo ni yala UDM member of parliament. Of East Africa. Amekubali kwamba
nikubaya
story ya kusema tutamaliziwa asubuhi haipo.
And Bernard, that's the thing that we have to be realistic about. And my friend Sifuna, the thing that he's always said, he's not going to pay anyone. In fact, yeye ndo anatafutiagwa, yeye ndo anaambiwa kuja. Na amesumbuliwa mpaka the other day he was saying that, hey, munanitesa. It's organic. And Bernard, even in your church, you don't go calling people to come to your church. People come. And when they come, they are congregants of that church. So when you hear people say, I'm sifunated, no one has paid them. I've been watching this Sifuna movement. In fact, it's overwhelming Sifuna, and I feel sorry for him. I'll give you, since tumebaki wawili, I'll give you a good example that I've known since I was a kid. If you remember some trucks that were called by Yusuf and Sons, that guy bought just 2 trucks and started shipping things from Mombasa to where they need to go. The company became so big, he actually committed suicide. It was overwhelming. When Raila decided to quit the Langata seat, he never knew he was ever going to be called Baba. Because for him, it was just a stand that he took. And everybody resonated with him that he became something else. By the time God is rest in soul and peace, he went 6 foot under. He was just something else. I mean, Enigma. I don't know how many names people were calling him. It's a stand that you make. And where Sifuna has stood right now, I'll give you a good example, and I want you to, I actually want you to react to this. The de facto leader of Linda Mwananchi is James Orengo. He's not saying he's a leader of ODM. He's saying he's the leader of Linda Mwananchi. But then when he's saying that Sifuna, he's talking about Sifuna too. So how does the leader, the main leader, talk about Sifuna? And Sifuna is a lot of people that are tired of mediocre leadership and mediocre governance. So you can see even the one that is going to be the leader or the party leader of, if they make, I hear they're making a new party. I hear it's already there, but they don't want to, wataki kuitangaza already. But if he's the party leader, but he's saying, me, I'll take a back seat, and then Sifuna is the leader with the people. What does that make? What does that make you think? I mean, it shows you that there's a push by the citizenry to a point that now he's not even a Gen Z anymore. It has gone from Gen Z, it's come to even millennials like me. And I'm also hearing people who are, I don't know what the other generation that was up there, even them saying, "Ay, hii ni ya Sifuna." And then he's moved from tribal cocoons and everybody. You go to Kisumu, they don't care if Sifuna is not a Luo. You come to Machakos, they don't care. You go to Mombasa, Mijikenda, Luya land, they don't care. I think we are in a good spot. And the good thing is about what I've been talking about, Bernard, for a very long time. Constitutionalism. Sifuna is a stickler of constitution. Orengo is a stickler of constitution. And civic education has happened this time. That most of even the Gen Alphas, they know the constitution. They can tell you which chapter and what it says. The religious leaders have started looking at the constitution and just not the Bible. So I think we're good. And I really wish that this time we do the right thing. Let me yield my time for now, Bernard. I know you want to say something.
So thank you so much for that angle of the thought pattern. And of course, the savior of this great country is a return to the constitutional leadership. What we have right now, we cannot comfortably say it is constitutional, because the constitution is only invoked when it favors William Ruto. Anytime it straightens him, he turns around and begins to look for excuses to break the rules. I agree with you. We are in that place where we found ourselves in 2002, no doubt. We have that opportunity again, and Sifuna appears to be the one picked for this point in time. The support and the leadership that is being placed on him, even by senior politicians like Orengo and the rest, is not because they want to, but it's because the people have said. And when the person is picked by people, that's the, because also you talked about Baba. Raila Odinga was Raila Odinga because of the people. He's identifying with the people, and the people identifying with him is what made him last longer in politics, and it determined the direction of politics that long. And so I think Sifuna has been able to get into the eyes of Kenyans and find favor in the eyes of Kenyans. And of course, it's overwhelming because nobody anticipated Raila Odinga to leave the scene that fast. And leaving the scene, and now there is a vacuum, and see now the kind of madness that Oburu and team are displaying. And so Sifuna is ni yule mtu ametolewa class 8 akapelekwa ametolewa class 8 akapelekwa let's say form 4 ama form 6 to sit for the form 6 exam. And so in between here you have to do crash program, umalize hii ya secondary uongeze na hii, so that you are fit for that particular final exam. And so but he has displayed proper mindset, proper state of heart and focus. He can handle this country given the chance to lead this country. I have no doubt with Sifuna's leadership. And the crocodiles and the hyenas that are preying on him. I think kuna jeshi la baba na kuna jeshi la Sifuna na linatosha kumlinda kwa vyovyote vile. Kile ambacho labda kitaleta kizaazaa ni ile kutoelewana kwa watu wa opposition. Wasipoelewanwa vizuri, I think even without the united opposition, Sifuna being fronted as a candidate is going to amass more votes than even these key opposition leaders, in my opinion. Unakumbuka alikuwa anaitwa nani huyu what was called Duda or Ndude the comedian Ndida, yes, alizoa kura nyingi kuliko watu wengi sana. So kuna vile ambavyo Wakenya wameamua wanataka mabadiliko, and so whatever ticket that Sifuna runs on, and if he runs all the way, even if he doesn't win, it is going to be a huge slice of votes that will be a statement. So wale walui ambao wanaendelea kuzunguka na kusema Sifuna ana hela ama Sifuna hajatosha, au ndio wanapaswa kuzibwa midomo, kwa sababu hapa ni mtu apewe nafasi akimbie. Competition, what is the purpose of competition if it is you either win or lose? So nobody should avoid to get into a contest simply because there is losing. No contest has no losers and has no winners. And so nobody should use that as a way of discouraging anybody to run. But from what I see around the country, the Sifuna wave is not light. It is not light. And him having capacity to contain it and hone it so that it materializes, I have no doubt. He's fully experienced, was a good student of Baba. I'm sure he can deliver. Please.
Bernard, let me say something real quick.
Yeah.
What you said is very important. And you just jogged my mind of something that I was discussing with some people. And my mind and a lot of people's mind is that even if the Linda Mwananchi and the united opposition do not combine, and they go, so we have three functions. We have the UDA Ruto nonsense, and then we have the Kinakalonzo, whatever, united, and then we have the Linda Mwananchi, but there's gonna be some seismic movement coming soon for people coming to Linda Mwananchi. Even if they don't unite by the time we get to election, but then the Sifuna Linda Mwananchi is still intact, and with the people that are still moving, or the hiding hairs that are just watching, they start moving or they don't move. They're gonna Linda Mwananchi is gonna force it to a rerun. Now, when that rerun happens, everybody's gonna move. I'm telling you, Oburu Odinga's and Gladys Wanga's section will be left. I mean, it's already a shell. The united opposition, most of them are already moving to the Linda Mwananchi. It's gonna force a rerun, and Ruto is gonna be in the back burner. So by the time we even do that rerun, Linda Mwananchi will itatokea tu kama imeenda, because I mean there's no way to this is Bernard, when it starts to rain it pours, and it's already started raining. We're just waiting for the storm.
Exactly.
The thunderstorms and the lightning. That's what we are waiting for. Either way, or somebody is going home.
And we need that person to go home clean, quietly, by a resounding victory. I envision the wrath and the anger Kenyans have. They may send William Ruto home with 10 million votes, as in the biggest, 10 million votes.
And the biggest problem here, Mr. Pastor Bernard, the biggest problem right now, we do, and mark my words very well, that's why I slowed down. We do not have people to make handshakes at this time. There is no handshake that is going to come. I don't care if you go to Jesus, come to Satan, uende kwa shetani, Mungu, sijui ufanye nini, hakuna mtu atachukua handshake raundi. Imeenda. I mean, yes, rerun we can do, but try and steal those votes. Haki ya Mungu, mtu ajaribu. Pole for cussing. You're my pastor. Mtu ajaribu kuiba hizo kura ndio atajua ajui.
So let's hear to this, listen to this former chairman of cohesion and integration. I love to fungia hapa. It's almost 2 a.m. and tomorrow is another day.
Any difference between President William Ruto and Sifuna, because I think that's where you are going with the charisma thing. Sifuna, you look at something called consistency in leadership. Sifuna has been very consistent. That day when this government was killing young people, the members of parliament, that is when I noted Sifuna as a leader, and I can say this on national television. I called Alonso Musyoka. I told him you need to go and talk to Sifuna now, before the ego is embarrassed, because Sifuna is going to be something in Kenya. I told him. This guy, he did not go down with the Babu Wino, where the MPs went under. He walked out. He went there and he was trying to tell those people to stop shooting the children. That touched me. I realized there is somebody here. And then the next thing I realized Sifuna is when Raila now eventually did the handshake. And there was a meeting of the parliamentary group. Sifuna was saying, I'm not here if the people are injured and the children are not going to be included in a part of this thing. Yeah. Sifuna made it very clear that I will not follow you there. That was the second time he told Raila in his face that I'm not following you to this man. Yeah. He has killed our children. It was very clear. From that time, Sifuna was always consistent that I will not follow you here. This is a leader who proved himself that he can take a position where is no personal benefit. Because there was no personal benefit for Sifuna, whatever he was doing. Now, William Ruto is a totally different story. Right. Because you have somebody who Kenyans were very clear about his history. But they were Christians. Christians is about the forgiveness. And it's about the people changing. The Kenyans didn't know that the power actually did not change you. I like Michelle Obama said, it reveals who you are. That is a primary difference between Sifuna and William Ruto. And I'm telling you, if Sifuna becomes president, this country may very well go where it would have gone even Jaramogi became president. All right. Because let me just finish, please. The problem of this country is that the person who alikuwa na Hutu, who was human, did not become the first president of Kenya. We got
Mkenya Mkora.
That was my closing remark. I need to say nothing else.
So let's embark on ensuring that we return the country where it's supposed to be and stop the games. The pretenders, the hypocrites, the pigs that suck the blood of this country should be exterminated once and for all. And we save the country completely. I think we should stop there and be able to pick it up. I'm back now. We'll be having this show almost every day by divine enablement. Yesterday was my birthday, so I had to be born again by ensuring that we resume this show seriously. And then, of course, yale mambo yanaendelea yanapaswa lazima tuanze kuongea. Hii kunyamaza ama kutoongelea ni kama inachangia kuchanganyikiwa kwa wengi wa Kenya. So jukumu letu hapa ni kulainisha ili kila mmoja amakinike katika sehemu yake. So kama kuna la ziada, naomba tukafungie hapo. Hiyo kesho saa 5 za usiku masaa ya Afrika Mashariki tukutane papa hapa tunapoendeleza mjadala huu. Hatujazungumza kuhusu Bungoma 20 Trans Nzoia and Bungoma 25th and 26th as Sifuna is released from home to go and hunt for presidency. It's going to be phenomenal. I saw my Kakamega people also protesting that the headquarters of Western Province is in Kakamega. Sifuna should not launch it in Bungoma. He should locate his way to Kakamega. So I don't know how it's going to be, but it's something that everybody needs to take serious. On the other hand, wale ambao ni wa viongozi wa kununuliwa, wale they call tumbo what? Tumpocrats should be noted. Hakuna kurudisha mtu bunge kwa sababu alisema yeye ni mbunge kama hajafanya kazi ya kutetea wananchi, kusimama katika pengo, kuhakikisha kwamba usalama wa wananchi ni muhimu, matibabu yanafanya kazi, masomo yanafanya kazi. Kama anafanya kama vile Oburu kwenda kupiga kwaya ya State House kumsifu William Ruto wakati watoto hawatulii shule. Saa hii watoto wameanza kupotea, naambiwa wameanza kutolewa kafara. Na hiyo mambo mengine yote ya insecurity, watoto kuchomeka shule, na hiyo mambo yote, we must be able to get answers to those questions and not play games by going to cover up the ills that are eating up our people. Thank you very much. Mkora, tukutane tutakapokutana.
God bless you, sir, and happy belated birthday.
Thank you. See you when you see me.
Sisi vilevile sio wote ambao wanataka ugomvi kwa sababu ya ugomvi.
Niwaambia nyinyi ni wajinga mkimfuata Ruto. Mkadhani tunawadanganya.
Jeti ya Ruto. Hii maisha ya Ruto ni stress na ni stress.
Mungu wewe umetukosea.
Sasa tumesema siku ya Jumatano. Mko tayari? Mko tayari? Tumesema sisi si majambazi.